Um, excuse me. The third rendition of this sandwich is so fire. Oh my god, it is the best meatloaf sandwich potentially ever conceived. It is the most accessible meatloaf sandwich I can think of. It has a hoagie roll, the produced, manufactured, centralized made kind. It doesn't come from a bakery, but from a store shelf. It uses Hellman's mayonnaise. It it uses Heinz 57 steak sauce. It uses sriracha. It uses bread and butter pickle chips. And the kind of cold meatloaf that I've used is in fact a sweet and sour meatloaf made by my mom. But in fact, it could probably be most any cold meatloaf, and this would work. And I believe I've made a new steak sauce. I would say because 2 parts Heinz 57, 1 part actually no, it goes 3 parts Heinz 57, 1 part mayonnaise, 2 parts sriracha. It might be a little bit more mayonnaise than that, and a little bit more sriracha than that. But that's it. And you might mash up pickles, the pickle chips into it. You can blend it together. And I believe that is my sauce. You mash up bread and butter pickle chips and put them in. In my personal opinion, would you use Famous Dave's hot, right? The hot and sweet pickles. These utilize Trader Joe's about as good, but in fact, Famous Dave's hot and sweet pickles are like the best pickle chips available. So I just want to assert all that. I made a perfect meatloaf sandwich that's so accessible. That is potentially one of the best things I can think of to make meatloaf leftovers absolutely just perfect. So that's a very accessible treat that a lot of people can try out. A little spicy, drop the sriracha for the kids. They should love the sweetness of the Heinz 57 and the pickle chips against your meatloaf. Meatloaf has to be cold. It is a cold meatloaf sandwich. Meatloaf can probably be warm. The whole thing will probably still slap, but mine is a cold meatloaf sandwich. Um, I call it a Mighty Mike's Big M Meatloaf Manwich. Mighty Mike's Big M Meatloaf Manwich. Seal the deal. I don't know. It's some kind. It's extra bold. It is extra bold. The sriracha fucking makes it perfect. The Heinz 57 is absolutely the base to it. The mayonnaise. Alright, I don't mix the whole sauce together, right? But you might. I find that I might have a variant of these three things with the pickle chips blended in as a single homogenized sauce. The way I layer it on my sandwich is I just do a light layer of mayonnaise, about a teaspoon, maybe less on each side of the bread. I put a thick line of Heinz 57 down the center, long ways on each half of the bread. And then I drizzle, right, with an up and down zigzagged past pattern, 3 different strokes of this until it is generously but well covered the whole surface area of the open bread on the side that it is that you're dressing it on. You pile, right, and that's how I do it. And over time, did it amalgamate and morph into an even more perfect sandwich? Right, just kind of left half of it sitting on this plate over here for a few hours. Holy shit! And it kept the bread it kept the sauce. It kept the wet Heinz 57 and sriracha sauce completely away from the bread. It didn't soak in and seep and make it all sauce. It was fucking perfect. It literally lasted because the whole sandwich is cold. Um. Oh man. But again, I might homogenize the mayonnaise amount, the sriracha amount, and the Heinz 57 amount, and then blend a certain amount of pickle chips into it, and altogether would it be in fact that's my sandwich sauce. That's Michael Paul Hart's sandwich sauce. That's my gift to you. You may, yeah, exactly. Already, there's lots of different names it may have. Lots of different names it may have. So, what are we doing today? Hey, what are you doing? What are we doing here? We should be going to PS2, and I should find it already. That's an eco. There it is. I knew I had it. So, I have been having like a religious experience tonight surrounding Starscream of the Transformers Armada series, realizing them as my favorite dynamic character in the show. I cried tears over the remembrance of when the kiddos make for Starscream a scarf, a woven scarf, and they give it to Starscream, an anthropomorphized bipedal massive monolithic robot that transforms into a military jet fighter. Starscream. They were on the bad guy side, the Decepticons, for a bit, and they were going against the Autobots. Eventually, they trade against the Decepticons over to the Autobot side, and they experience their dynamic shift. And I ultimately kind of come to this realization, right? That I remember when Starscream is given the scarf as a gift from the human kids, and it's like it breaks him. That's right. But there's why? Because my guess is that because he realizes that he truly loves these kids and the Autobots, and he sees every point of the purpose, and he sees that it's better than the Decepticons, which are an overtly fascist force being led by an egomaniac, Megatron. Somebody he's always disdained. And he truly begins to realize this after this gift of the scarf has given him a giant bipedal anthropomorphic robot that turns into a military jet fighter with weapons. It makes it's just the most beautiful thing in the world to him. So I create a headcanon. I never saw the end of the Transformers Armada series, but I realize I do know what happens after this. Starscream leaves, and then trades from the Autobots back over to the Decepticons, but with the intention to disturb and disrupt the Decepticons, create deception amongst them all to help the Autobots and their human friends, Starscream's friends, along. Um, and as a dynamic thing, it's actually really gorgeous. There's a lot of cheesiness in the Transformers Armada series. It's actually a much better, more well polished version of Transformers, the original series. But they also figure out how to create the emotional content really well, right? In the original Transformers, is there a scene where Optimus Prime is in the human Transformers hospital? It's like any other medical ward, and there's like a dying Optimus Prime is on his deathbed. It's so dumb. They really know how to bring on some emotional force, right? They were going for that. They didn't know how to do it. They were like crayon colorings of it and then tropes and bullshit. They weren't trying. Were they trying in the Transformers Armada series? Yes, and I'm going to play the video game here that showcases that. Let's get into it. This is Transformers 2004. Is it Transformers 2005? I think I picked it up in 05. I began playing this game in my unfinished basement in 3 April Drive. The same couch that Jimmy and I played 2004 Slugfest. MLB 2004 Slugfest on the PS2 together, and it was amazing. It was also this awesome liminal transitional period for us in the 3 April home. Why? Well, it was right before, right? Jim got here that we were probably finishing the house basement. Jim wanted to go down there and get some furniture down there so that Mom and Dad wouldn't forget about it. Genius, Jim. Jim immediately started realizing it. The moment that the topic was, I can get the whole basement to myself. It's a big house. That's a big fucking level. That's a lot of space. It's insane. It's like a whole basement penthouse. It really is. It's like a little apartment down there. Could have used a sink with a garbage disposal. Would have been fucky with the sump pump. So ultimately, right, Jim and I, in an awesome upswing period for my older brother Jimmy, play some MLB Slugfest together with some regularity down in this couch that used to furnish our family room. Front of the TV. We spent time there, right? But now the couch is moved downstairs. I believe I helped to move it downstairs so we can have a space together. I don't know, he could have a space. They're probably smoking a little bit of weed down there. Who fucking knows? But it was brilliant. It was just one of our tube televisions that we brought downstairs. It was big enough, and Jim's PS2. And it was just sitting there amongst the dust, amongst everything else. It was perfect. Did the PS2 not break? Did the game slap? And in the same spot, all by myself, I plugged in Transformers Armada, right? It was just called Transformers 2005, I believe. And I played this game downstairs. I had the option to play it in my room. My PS2 was upstairs in my room. I, too, felt the magic of playing the games in the same basement that kind of used to frighten me, but I just loved exploring in every little corner. It was one of my favorite places in the house. I loved the basement. I loved how my mom and dad's life was kind of stashed away, archived in it. I would see my father's old robot. It was one of those remote control ones. You can put a cassette tape in it and play it. From the remote control, you can get it to play as you wanted. You can program the robot to speak, essentially, with different voice lines that was the point of it. To make it seem more lifelike. That was how you play with it. You drive them around. They had these little tracks that they'd be on. It looked like an R2-D2. They had like little claws. You can give them a drink, and it was the one that would serve it. It was one of the ones that was called an Omnibot. As I understand it, was the Omnibot. And this little guy would blow my mind, even though it was covered in dust and in the corner, and it kind of made the whole basement a little bit creepier, because it looked like it was an old-ass kind of R2-D2 style model that would come alive. And was it that I was afraid in the same home in my childhood, the washing machine, when they would overfill it with detergent or overload it, and it would be bouncing around to the point where I literally thought it was going to break out, and this is how my imagination did it. The washing machine was going to break out of the laundry room and start chasing me throughout the house. It was bouncing around and rattling so much, and I believe then I did have a dream nightmare about exactly this happening. I was also afraid of the old style, the late 90s style inkjet printer. It should make these very large mechanical actuating noises. Mechanical stuff scared the tits out of me. The vacuum scared the tits out of me. I like wearing the dog collar about it. It's funny. Important stuff. You need psychological armor. Why? Because the tech is weird. It's like it's alive. You don't know. How the fuck is all this supposed to work again? Shit. But, nope. There was a trace history. The scariness of electronics, the scariness and darkness and dankness of a basement. What my brother and I would play so much ping pong in the same place. It was a place of so many wonderful memories between us. We had a ping pong table in the same space. The ping pong table came in first, and then eventually did we get the couch down there when Jim heard that it was going to be a finished basement. Fully livable. Renovated, furnished, carpeted, wall to wall, hardwood style flooring. Really linoleum, who cares? Painted walls, drywall put up to truly partition the area. A bathroom with a shower and a toilet and a sink. Wow. A little kitchen area. It's really little. It was better than nothing. A space for a fridge. And fire escape window so that it's to code. A bedroom that was partitioned separate from the rest of the living area. Jim was even thinking about how it was that he was going to make a little space for me down there in the closet. It's funny. It's like, I'm not coming out of the closet yet, Jim. I'm not coming out of the closet. No, you can't make me. You can't make me. But he was trying to be inclusive, but also Jim knew to be offering the idea of deals, so to make things more real to mom and dad and really get them to making a choice. So, right, amongst all of this happening, on the same couch in a different area originally, was it that I. Oh, yeah, actually, not yet. Not yet. That's later. That's during the finishing. It is. It's during the renovation. I remember. I remember. So cool. Um, I felt the magic of the basement. I did. In its cement floors and the dust that happened to coat over everything, and the little bits of potential. Maybe it's some broken glass here. I don't know. There wasn't broken glass anywhere, but maybe there was. I'd go down there barefoot. Who cares? The cement floor was the kind of cement floor. It was nice and smooth. Maybe not perfectly smooth, like some cement floors, some basements that were sealed. It wasn't a sealed cement floor, but it was really good enough. Not those super hard, weird, concretey kinds. Um, Next to no erosion down there. The house was relatively very fucking new to when it was that we were living in it originally. So, all together, was it, right? There'd be some spiders, there'd be some bugs around, right? This is okay. They leave you alone. They do, especially in the basement once you have your own space and they know to kind of be, alright, maybe I'm living under your couch, maybe I'm living behind your TV, but I see that you have this space here. Is it that the spiders do not invade? Um, and I play this game, and I have such a thick, strong memory. I can close my eyes and look left and see the hidey hole of all sorts of stuff, the shelves that are still up that have on them pieces of history of both my father's life before meeting my mom and my mother's life before meeting my dad, and then a history of their life together. I can go in and check out some photos down there, right? It's where we keep a bunch of stuff. The photo albums are in the bedroom, and the tiny tapes from the video recorders then were in Pop Pop's room, also known as the office, before Pop Pop would move into it. My grandfather. Uh, Art Friedland. But that's not his real first name. It's just the one that he prefers. I prefer Pop Pop. I believe his first name was John. I might be wrong about that. It definitely was art. He went by art. Me too, buddy. Me too. But I would play this game all by myself. You would think it would have been alone. I would play it all by myself in a dank, dark, not lit. There was nothing lit about the space. It would get dark down there. There wouldn't be a light. I think there was one that we eventually got down there, but there was the light of the TV. We had it was the light of the overhead fluorescent lights that we had hanging over the ping pong table. They were waiting for some kind of spooky magical thing that happened. It didn't. If anything was spooky and magical, is that I wasn't afraid of the basement or the darkness or the bugs that were in it. It was that I was at peace there. And there, in fact, would be so many more magical, important things that would happen on this level of my house and home for me. But one of them, to start it off, in truth, certainly not the first. I have so many wonderful memories in the same basement when I was 3 to get me more accustomed and accommodated to it. Did my parents allow me to do hand painting down there? And, right, it got me more interested. It's a place that seemed so unknowable and dark, right, and spooky actually became a place of amazing imagination. Anything could happen down there. It was my space when it was me in the basement alone down there, or so I thought. I don't know. I remember my family, Jim, Mom, and Dad, set up a game of Blues Clues for me. And I believe I did find a clue down in the basement. I don't really remember it, but it was perfect. But I do really remember it because it was so perfect. I remember playing the actual game of Blues Clues. You guys all made it happen. Mom, Dad, Jimmy, Kathleen, Richard, and James. Hart. And I will cherish this for my entire life. Because it was not the only perfect occasion that was made for me. Amongst all of you. But here's another special moment, in fact, in my basement in 3 April Drive. That put me at peace. I find myself in another peaceful moment down in this basement here in 14 Waycross. Amongst many, and some very, very energetic ones too. I remember playing to the only illumination in front of me. You can see right through the bones under the stairwell still, right behind it. That's what made the place feel a little bit more aesthetic in a way. We would still store some stuff under the stairwell through these bones. You could see the boneworks. I remember exploring the Amazon as Optimus Prime and Hotshot. I didn't like to be Red Alert. Red Alert was no Red Alert's the shit, but Red Alert was drier than Optimus. And even Optimus was drier than Hotshot. Of course I was playing as Hotshot. Are you fucking kidding me? But Optimus was really cool. And I think I'm gonna learn Red Alert really well. He was the authoritarian civilian level cop. He is cool. Very RoboCop. Right? Red Alert was there to be like RoboCop in the Transformers Armada series. He was a good bit. He was a good bit. And an even better soldier. And I remember exploring the Amazon as a hot shot. So let's plug this fucker in. I've played today on I think potentially one of my favorite consoles of my life, my Steam Deck. My original Steam Deck. I'd be said, I was one of the high-end purchasers, as you can say. I set up my Steam Deck to have pretty much every game of my life on it, and then every game I ever wanted and couldn't get to. Excuse me. I've modded it via software. I have opened up its back case over 40 times to shave away very carefully, very carefully, the interior of the plastic shell around the right trigger, so that when it came to me it was sticky. I was not OEMing it. Nope. I was not doing that. That was my Steam Deck. I opened that fucker up. Everything else was perfect about it, and I just shaved away the back end of the case, right? So that it couldn't look any aesthetically different on the outside, but in fact it would be shaved away on the inside enough so that the right trigger would not stick against the back case anymore. It was like 40 times. Did it every day for like 2 weeks. I would take a little piece of sandpaper and I would very carefully shed it away. And it would be good for a bit. But then after a day, it would be sticky again. So I just keep opening it up, shaving it away again, closing it. It was good for then. Next day, it's kind of sticky. Open it up, shave it away again. It was good, right? Eventually, was it that I didn't need to, right? One day, was it that I pressed and depressed the right trigger button the next day, and it wasn't sticky at all. And I was like, by God, we've done it. We've done it. I did it. I preserved my Steam Deck, and it's still mine, and it's still my first. And it is still the best one. It's everything that I ever could have needed in an emulation device and more. It's perfect. It's portable. It's handheld. It's a console. Anywhere. I've played my local library, my life collection, anywhere. Have I put it on televisions hours and a half away from here? Television's an hour and a half away from where it is that I'm at. Yeah. Perfectly portable. I've made memories with it. I love it. I love it. So, with this Steam Deck, I press this play button. Shut up. Perfectly portable. Alright, Retro Achievements has been designed to make it a less perfect thing. Why? Because somebody in between the parse between Retro Achievements and my Steam Deck has purposefully unparsed a very important function, which is the token activation end. I might blame EmuDeck I might blame Steam Deck. But ultimately, it's somebody in between there that wants to make it look like the retro achievements token system doesn't work like this for everyone, or would be this dysfunctional for everyone. It's not. Somebody went in my thing and made it not parsed correctly. So in truth, the retro achievement thing works perfectly. I'm a special case. Yes, the Steam Deck has game achievements for PS1 games. It has it for SNES games, NES games. It's got it for PS2. I don't know about PS2 games. Yeah, it's definitely got it for PS1 games. Oh shit! What's going on out there? Any retro game that is cared about has lots of real achievements that for the emulators, the data in the game has been exposed in real time, and there are achievement thresholds that is being watched for from the exposed real-time data as it's played in the game to give you an achievement at the exact time that you achieve the achievement, just like any other game that's ever had an achievement to begin with. That's how amazing Retro Achievements is. You gotta get a Steam Deck, guys. You need to use EmuDeck. It's the most amazing third-party software application and suite I have ever used, and it is completely free for use. Absolutely perfection. Has it been that I have seen the light when it is that I consider the Valve Steam Deck? This said, the Switch 2's coming out. Save up. If it's a choice between the Switch 2 and the Steam Deck, and you haven't made your mind up yet.
Start face tracking.
Thanks, Aurora. The version of the Steam Deck that it is that I have, right? I originally got for like 600. Shit's like, you buy mine used right now, it's like 300. They got one with an OLED screen. That's right, yeah, that's right, Nintendo. That's right, yeah. You better run. I love Nintendo. Nintendo loves, I love But, in fact, I would have to say, the best bang for your buck, no fucking matter what, it's gonna be that Steam Deck. It's gonna be that Oh my fucking god, is it gonna be that Steam Deck? You need a Steam Deck. You need a Steam Deck. If you don't have a Steam Deck, what the fuck are you doing? I'm gonna get you. How? Ooh, you better get a Steam Deck. That's a big M, isn't it? Switch 2 is gonna slap. Switch 2 boasts fucking up to 4K, probably with upscaling via filtering methods that are probably going to be pretty good, right? It's up to 4K on a display, 60 frames per second refresh. It's probably going to be close to 45 to 60 frames per second refresh, but still really impressive with upscaling and everything. Probably textured up to 1440p for most people's purposes. It's actually going to feature, it's going to feature games that are textured up to 1440p most likely. It itself boasts a 120 hertz refresh screen, 1080p. I think it was 7.9 inches diagonally. 16 by 9. Really solid. And here's the thing. It has an NVIDIA-based married CPU, GPU system, just like the Steam Deck does. So they're entering in with some serious competitive force, because the Steam Deck cannot handle 4K 60 frames per second at all. So please understand, Nintendo. I'm not a no, Nintendo, no, you need to, no, they hit you, Nintendo, they need to get you, no! Nintendo, that's the wrong letter, Nintendo, that's an M as in Michael, not as an N as in Nintendo. I guess they're doing a little transforming. Oh, okay, alright. Don't worry, Nintendo. We Autobots have your back. That's right, with Hot Shot, Red Alert, and of course, Optimus Prime. Who's that? Oh no, it's Megatron. Oh my god, he keeps getting me, Aurora. Oh my god, he's angry. Is he also of the Big M? Maybe only time will tell. I myself must assert, Nintendo, that hardware solution all wrapped up into a $460-ish package, that's fucking amazing. What the fuck do you mean it can handle 1080p at 120 hertz refresh? That's 120 frames per second. You guys know how fucking amazing Mario Kart is gonna slap now? Holy shit. It is a nice transformation. And it seems like Nintendo heeded my call. I needed better hardware solutions by them. Is this finally a set of hardware, right? And they waited for the perfect time to optimize and strategize. I can see how they're strategizing. They're going with really expensive games. Nintendo, please, for the love of God, try and get away from $80 games. If it's a means and a psychological operation to make us more happy about $70 games, then it's working. Okay? $70 for games is probably going to be too much. But, right, just remember what I said about Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom, I paid $70 for it. At least Drew paid $70 for it for me, which still hurt me. Right? We paid $70 for it. And it didn't even feel like an actual sequel to Breath of the Wild. It felt like DLC to Breath of the Wild. It really just felt like a bunch of DS. That felt like you did fucking Broken Steel felt like you did Broken Steel, essentially. Right, yeah, Megatron's not happy. Megatron's not happy, Nintendo. It felt like Broken Steel for Fallout 3, but instead of Fallout 3, it was Breath of the Wild. That's what it felt like. You needed to make an actual sequel, Nintendo. We waited too long, we were so too overhyped. And $70 made me unhappy that I even paid over $30 for it. When in the end I saw what it was, which was not all the way play tested to the exact level of perfection and polish that I would expect. Would it be the same that I might say for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, also developed by subsidiary Game Freak, was very lackluster in a lot of places where we would always expect it in terms of polish. So, if you are going to develop $70 games, you better make us fucking wowed. Why? Well, you can even do up to 80, but it better be the most fucking mind-blowing goddamn fucking experience of my life. Okay? You're Nintendo. I don't want to... You're Nintendo. You make the best video game software. The best video game software in the industry. I know, I flubbed a little bit. Whoops. If by charging $70 to $80 for your games, you can make obviously such a wallop of hardware capability available and accessible to your consumers, especially, right? It's like 460 in the beginning. It'll drop. I think it's an excellent methodology of getting very high-grade performance down to your base consumership. I think that's fucking good, right? Oh shit, now they're going after... Who are they going after this time? No, how many times do we have to have this conversation? How many times? No, the mini-cons. Don't forget about us little mini-cons down below, Nintendo. We Autobots have something to strive for, with Hot Shot, Red Alert, and of course, Optimus Prime. Oh no, it's the Decepticon! I'm gonna get that deal, Nintendo! I'm gonna get that deal! I'm gonna get that deal, Nintendo! You know I'm after it. I'm after it. I want that new Mario Kart title. That's what the big M is for, isn't it? It's not Minicon, it's Mario Kart. It's the new Mario Kart. Holy shit. Hot damn. Transformers. Okay. I'm trying to move out of this for a second. In truth, I think it's fucking awesome that you can find a way to get, right, the hardware high. You're finally going to be in the high end, you guys. This is insanely wonderful for you. It's going to be a higher end than most computers. It's going to fit into the form factor of the current Switch. I'm color me impressed. Does the world last long enough for that to even happen? I bet you it does. It fucking well better. But that's very fucking impressive. Like, because say if it gets down from 460 down to 300 eventually, let's just say, right? It's only a $160 drop, which I see happening over recent years. That's still gonna be some really fucking good hardware that's available, even cheaper consumer grade, and it's gonna be it's gonna last. I can see a system like that lasting a fucking while. And I see that you guys going with longevity and everything. It's just really good choices. Really good choices. What, Nintendo? Let me grab it from over here. Yes, Nintendo. What choices, Nintendo? What choices don't we like? What choices don't we like? I might be wondering about it. I might be wondering. But I don't need to wonder long. You made the Joy-Cons so fucking flimsy, Nintendo, for your Switch 1 system that they did break on purpose, and in less than 6 months for most of the fucking Joy-Cons I did use was I purchasing over and over from Japan Mario Red Joy-Cons. Nintendo, I would have sent in any of these pairs of Mario Red Joy-Cons into your place for RMA, but you do this really dingy, stingy thing. You won't give back the consumer the case that they sent it in with. You just send out brand new Joy-Cons that are the boring black ones. I paid fucking $15, $20 over for each of those pairs of Mario Reds. And you create these horrible little chiclet joysticks that are designed to break and get disaligned, and then be forced to deal with drift. Yeah, you better drift on out of here, Nintendo. Oh yeah, you're gonna open up the wormhole? You better run. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Why? Why? Well, because, Nintendo, you better fucking damn well motherfucking should... Oh, baby. On God, you better ensure that you have programmable dead zones. Programmable dead zones, so even if they aren't Hall Effect joysticks, if they break a bit, now I can increase the dead zone. So that if it does always think it's being pressed up just a bit, I take off that threshold of sensitivity. Steam Deck has this built into their software. Why can't you fucking do it? So, Nintendo, again, I'm going to support the fuck out of you, right? You really ought to at least ensure that programmable dead zones exist in the software application of this game, very accessible through its user interface to all consumers. You have to make sure that this exists. Because I don't necessarily trust that you made the Joy-Cons less breakable. Just at least based on all the Joy-Con stuff and issues I've had, is it that I own 6 pairs of Joy-Cons. And I still own the same system I bought originally. I was a later adopter. This is how you avoid issues. If you put in those programmable dead zones upon launch, oh my goodness, Nintendo. Oh my God, why are they hitting Nintendo? Get away from them, no, see, we're gonna bat them away. Open up that wormhole, get them out of there. That was a close one. Nintendo, that was a close one. Woo! 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 You know, oh shit, thank God for them, right? Thank God for them. Woo, yes, with Hot Shot, Red Alert, and of course, Optimus Prime. But you better watch out, because I'm gonna be coming for you this time, Nintendo. That's right. That's right. It's Big fucking M. It's Big M. And what I gotta say is, if you put the programmable dead zones in to the software, on launch, that's going to immediately stop everybody from getting even potentially angry at you for any kind of Joy-Cons issues, and it's going to heftily protect your entire industry and your brand recognition. I recommend it, my friends. I myself recommend it so ham-handedly and so virtuously at the same time. I love you, Nintendo. I'm not going to let you go defunct. Nope, I'm gonna pull you up by your fucking lapels, and you're gonna be the best goddamn video game company that the world has ever seen. Oh shit, we get to play Transformers. Oh my god. And then, $70, $80 games? It's a little bit less of a, fuck it, right? They just better be good. Why? Because I still appreciate that you're getting that really high-end hardware out for such a cheap cost and such a tiny form factor. May have I have recommended a larger form factor for your Switch 2? Yeah, I probably would have. Another thing I'm going to recommend is marketed specialized docks that make a bigger deal out of your system when it's docked and in front of a television or entertainment system. You want people to see the evidence of the Nintendo Switch. You don't want it to be a flimsy black piece of plastic like the Switch 1 dock. You want it to be special. You want it to look special. It's not. Don't go streamlined and blank, right? You don't want to make it look toyish and too loud either. Give it a nice fucking stainless steel piece of trim somewhere. Make it look nice. Make it be like, oh shit, he's got the Switch 2. I gotta check that out. Oh my fucking god, I can't believe she's got the Switch 2. I wonder how the new Animal Crossing looks on it. The newest Animal Crossing. And the Switch 2 is, in fact, guys, going to have, right, improvements in graphical quality for Switch 1 games, I think, but this might just be what it is that's been discussed. It's at least going to upscale it really well. I recommend that they find and they re-optimize the game software from the old Switch cards to look even better on the Switch 2, and they make improvements for every single best of the Nintendo games that were released on the Switch 1. Right, with Hot Shot, Red Alert, and everyone's favorite, Optimus Prime. But lest we forget, Nintendo, if you make bad business decisions, I'm gonna be very angry. Yes, indeed. It's okay. Together we land together on planet Earth during some period of the ancient era, but in this one it's not Beast Wars. It's more like they come in during the cradle of life and the cradle of civilization stuff. I don't fucking what. It's really the perfect Transformers game for my etymologic histrionic approach. It really truly is. It's fucking Transformers Armada, the video game. It's so fucking good. Just hit options and maybe it'll kick me out. I have just a few. Yes, sound mode. Surround. I'm surrounding you, Nintendo. I'm surrounding you. Because I fucking love you so much. It's like Stockholm Syndrome, I know. I'm very impressed with the consumer-grade electronics at the rate that you're trying to get it out. I'm very appreciative of the fact you're going to want to try and collect some of your opportunity costs there back as fast as possible with $70, $80 games. I get it. You guys are pulling a lot of fucking straight. You're like pulling out all the stops on this one. Mouse mode's a great idea. Remember, Steam Deck's an actual computer. Your Switch 2 may not be, but mouse mode might make it, right, like a Wii, a lot more like a computer than any Nintendo product has ever been. And I appreciate that you're going in that direction, too. I'm very impressed, right? I'm very impressed. But, of course, I don't expect to be able to, quote, jailbreak a Switch 2 anytime soon. Mouse mode might make it a little bit more easy, right? And by jailbreaking a Switch 2, I would potentially be able to open up everything that its graphics and its processor is capable of and make it into a real running computer that I'd be able to load something like an Arch backend from Linux on, or maybe even Microsoft Windows. Potentially. I know you guys don't want that, because then I use the real base operating hardware on the Switch to download Switch 2 games and Switch games for free. and then I have the actual hardware right there, so it doesn't need an emulator. Then it just parses the game over, beats any lockdown, right? And so I get it. But in truth, that would unlock even more purchasers of your product. And they might themselves decide that it's a great opportunity to showcase the console to other people and a great myriad of games that are worth playing. It's another demonstration. The kiddos aren't really going to know how to do that too easily, and they're not going to want to put their Steam, they're not going to want to put their Switch 2 at risk. It's their prized possession, and mommy and daddy are already paying for everything anyways. Right? Right. You might very well want to consider this. You might want to consider this. Right? But either way, I appreciate mouse mode to the end of, right, that's a great idea. I appreciate a lot of it. I can see that with this hardware, you'd be able to create Nintendo VR. For actual, I see it all. With this hardware, you'd be able to run a VR solution. Maybe not the best like your Oculus 3 or your Index, but I bet you guys can get to pretty near Index like and make it the cheapest headset ever. You guys are gonna have the video game VR market, Nintendo. With this hardware, you guys can have the whole video game VR market. Valve showed how it could be done. But VR is kind of like not flopped at all, right? But it's still getting there. It needs a proper acolyte. And I kind of think it's you. I've seen some arcade titles of a VR-based Mario Kart experience, and it blew me the fuck away. This was all the way back in 2016. I couldn't believe my eyes. Concept, everything was all there. You like literally reach your hand out and get a fucking red shell and you throw it at them the moment they pass by. Wow. Wow. You guys could sell more than just the VR. You get a Mario Kart game. Imagine a Mario Kart game with a real force feedback steering wheel and pedal setup. You guys would be able to sell those too. Oh man. Holy shit. Right. And those could be DLCs to Mario Kart. You could sell them for $50. And then you can sell the hardware for so much you don't need necessarily $70 to $80 games, Nintendo. The access point of the Switch 2 is potentially one of the most formidable in all of consumer-grade video game electronics of all time, if you play this right. Right? And it's all on the line. It's all on the line. I think you guys are the best video game developers ever. Ever. I don't say that as a fanboy. I say that as a market analyst. And I say that as a fanboy. But I say that as a market analyst. Steam Deck there is my favorite breakout culture video game device. It's exactly what Valve, as a wonderful industry, a private industry here in the United States, does to be a, quote, disruptor. And they disrupted so well and to the benefit of the base end consumer. Right? And they do this, right? This is what Valve does for people. This is what Valve does for my country. This is what Valve does for the world, the larger they can get their supply lines out there. They're essential. And they made Linux computing a real fucking thing. Finally, Linux runs and lives. Proton is the best fucking thing ever. They found a way to get all the Windows executables running, most of them, and then they keep making specific upgrades that make more and more old Windows games operate. It's insanely amazing. It's the perfect parse. It makes all Linux systems accessible to all of these Windows executables. There's nothing they can do. They can't hold it down, and they can't lock it down to the Microsoft kernel anymore. We fucking won. Now it's time for you to win. Now it's time for you to win. I love the Microsoft kernel. It's good too. Except when the .NET framework gets a huge backend in it that's been revealed to be an exposure for like a decade or so, you know. But I fucking adore Microsoft. Just to be very clear, I adore Microsoft. I really, really do adore Microsoft. Oh shit. Just get to the fucking game, right? We're getting there. We're getting there. I just need to protect Microsoft too. I don't want to sound like good. We broke through the kernel. The kernel is a good thing and a great business model and practice for them, right? It still is. And it locks down their system well. It locks down the user system and puts it right. And it keeps the user safe in a huge way. It does. As long as Microsoft isn't trying to willingly open all of their consumers to spyware practices, say from like Google's enablement of folks like say like Hotels.com utilizing 2.4 gigabytes of RAM to run stuff in the background that most certainly isn't me using Hotels.com. That kind of shit. So the Microsoft kernel used to really protect us well until it was that they had kind of sold out and started enabling, right? A bunch of not great. But it's not Microsoft. That's a little bit on Google, right? But it's everybody's tainting each other, right? Everybody taints each other with the worst business practices that defy consumers' privacy rights. And defile a consumer's privacy rights. Nintendo, you haven't crossed the line here. I want to assert that you never crossed the line here. Your marketing has always been wonderful. I love your marketing. And I never felt your presence in it. I felt a little, right, maybe on our Steam Deck I find things that are like antithetically built things that look like it's guerrilla marketing of hate viewership, right? Hate viewership. It's guerrilla meta marketing for Steam Deck, or for the Switch 2 on our Steam Deck, and like that could actually be Valve running that meta marketing for you. I don't know. It could be paid people from Tencent and Reddit, but here's the thing, I speak on this shit pretty often. Even Valve wants to make sure that you succeed like big time. I know that. I know we're all in agreement on this. You deserve to thrive. You deserve to thrive, just like Valve does, right? And just like Microsoft does. And so, I can see it. I don't see it from you, Nintendo. You guys are generally pretty fucking honorable. Especially when it comes to marketing. Especially when it comes to the consumer. These Joy-Cons were a bad change of form, right? Bad movement away from the form. And you have a huge opportunity. I'd like to assert that again. Put those programmable dead zones in to the software upon launch of the Switch 2. Start advertising that you're going to do that now. Everyone's going to hop aboard. Everyone will hop aboard. It will be a win and a standard. One that you would be holding yourselves up to the expectation of. We're not trying to fucking fuck you over on the Joy-Cons. We don't want to fuck you over on the Joy-Cons if they break. We designed the Joy-Cons to break more easily instead of the system itself. The system itself is much more expensive than the Joy-Cons. Even if you buy another system itself, it might be a loss to us right now. Right? Exactly. Exactly. So if you want to make the Joy-Cons a shock absorbent protection to the system, that's fine. But put in those programmable dead zones so we as consumers don't immediately see what it means if you don't put in programmable dead zones. The fact that you intend to really, really disingenuously and wrongfully expect consumers to keep paying for new Joy-Cons at like $70 to $90 every time they break. Not okay. Just put in those programmable dead zones and we ourselves will be having no problems. You mark it ahead that you will be putting in programmable joystick dead zones, and that removes all the anxiety right then and there, and people start hyping. And I will lead that hype train, baby. I will be here rootin' and tootin'. It's an honorable measure. And by doing this, you would be creating a new standard to consumer electronics that, right, Valve has put forward really hugely. Right? But Valve is Valve and you're Nintendo. You're huge. And then Valve's huge too, but less huge to the hardware market. Much huger now, right? You are Nintendo. You are one of the largest distributors of computer tech in the world. It's amazing, I know, but it's very true. Only $80 billion of valuation. I'm like, seems a little undervalued to me. It's like, so I put Nintendo well above $100 billion in valuation in my head. What the fuck's going on there? You guys must be one hell of a blue chip. One hell of a blue chip. I am one of your best friends, Nintendo. One of your very best friends. I know, it seems like an intervention after a while, I know. But truly, it is kind of an intervention. You will make money hand over fist on the Switch 2. Make it right. Make it right. That's not a demand. It's not a right. It's a plea. Please make it right. Man, you put out Nintendo. You put out that statement that says we're adding programmable dead zones. I dropped the $70, $80 game bullshit. I say they deserve to be able to make as much liquidity back for themselves on so much hardware in such a small form factor as fast as they can, so they can now produce their VR solution. They can produce their accessories, they can keep expanding their ideas, and now you'll have this amazing graphical backdrop to showcase what Nintendo does with the next generation. Technically, what I'm going to go ahead and say is 4th generation. It's probably going to be like 4.5. It's not going to be necessarily full 5th generation but capability, but that's the thing. That thing does have 5th generation capability. It outputs to 4K 60 frames per second. It's essentially 5th generation capability. I expect up to 1440p textures. That very well, coming from you, Nintendo, and your level of polish, that might be worth $70. You're smaller than a lot. You don't have a sized developer team. You don't have the size of developer team, say, that Electronic Arts has. You have like hand-picked excellent specialists of every caliber, say on Team 7, right? There's a lot. Not more than that. I know some shit. And with that in place, I couldn't bitch. I know that the console gets downgraded in price after a while. Not once, but probably twice. And now it's even more accessibility, even more consumers. You're making those electronics even more accessible. I know you bundle it with great deals. Probably saving people $40 if they get the system console bundle with the game. That happens a little bit after the initial release, right? I know a lot, right? It is deals. There's deals. You put in that output that says you're adding programmable dead zones to your software for all Joy-Cons to be used with it. And any Pro controller. I got nothing to bitch over. And those Joy-Cons have the same amount of breakability as they did before. Nothing to bitch about. Maybe right. Try not to make. Don't add the programmable dead zones and then make the Joy-Cons easier at breaking. Don't do that. Right? It's like, oh, we'll just make it so janky so that the joystick just is always flopping down. Don't do that. Don't go that route. Win with quality. That's you. That's your look. It's a good look. You know it. Win with quality, not with greed. I still think you guys are the shit. I looked up to you guys when I was a kid. I still look up to you guys now. I don't know how I'm supposed to be able to purchase a Switch 2 in order to make sure I check it out for all of my expectations. But that output, again, of programmable joystick dead zones for all controllers to be with the Nintendo Switch 2 console. It's the thing that creates an avalanche of financial throughput for you in the best way. It's an avalanche that reveals an ancient city. It's so valuable, you can't quite put a price on it. Alright. I think I made my point with Daddy Nintendo. Hike. Let's get this going, right? I'm feeling like a vet today. A little bit of a commander, right? It's just a hard mode. Hard mode. I don't know. It's hard. It's gonna be too hard. Holy shit! It's planet Decepticon or Cybertron. It's Cybertron. Cybertron is the name of the planet, not Omicron. But isn't Omicron Cybertron self-realized as a giant Decepticon that was built over time and then self-personifies as the fascist state to consume all the other planets and worlds around it because it's like literally the anthropomorphic fascist god that's been automated or something, right? Isn't it like that?
I would have waited an eternity for this.
So they're going to the Cybertron. This is the most dank Armada thing.
It's over, Prime.
Has the same wonderful voice actors from the American dub. I think it might have been. But I don't know. It was originally Transformers Armada was made in Japan originally as an anime, and then it came back as a dubbed thing or if it was made specifically for the United States and English speakers. I don't know. I could say if it was a Japanese anime originally, it was really well ported. It's funny that
Decepticons trace the energy wave to its origin.
the toys that are the Transformers are like based on
Autobots, we must stop Megatron.
Japanese action figures that are essentially like puzzles, right? Everybody knows what a Transformer is, but at least over here in the States. But it was a concept that ran for decades in Japan before it ever reached a show. Japan just liked making these amazing novelty toys. Ooh, look at that bitmap shit. Bitmapped 3D stuff. Hey, it's amazing either way. And the toys themselves are just so fucking good. Oh man, right? That's where you get to pick, right? And yep. So fucking awesome. It's an actual RPG. It's an action adventure RPG game, you guys. I know. So let's see. How long have I been fucking politically ranting? Oh, and there was some beauty. Fine, we keep going. We keep going. I don't want this to stop yet. It could be a nice long one. There's enchanting stories, backdrops of my youth, the crypt, or let's say the catacombs of my past. The authority that I hold now. A lot of stuff has changed for me in my life, kinda recently. But some things fall in place. I've kind of always been being raised for this. I kind of know a great deal of my purpose. Ain't it beautiful? This is where you pick. Yep, Optimus Prime is all attack, good defense, slow speed, very high power. How do I usually determine who's the best? Get more info. Wow, Optimus Prime, the leader of the Autobots. Optimus Prime's strength makes him well suited to deal with almost any Decepticon threat. Optimus can equip powerful mini-con combinations. In vehicle mode, his truck form plows through the enemy with devastating impact. So, robot mode is his height 7 meters. 22 feet, 11 inches. So like a little less than 4 of me stacked up on top of each other. I'm 6'8". A little less than 4. Somewhere between 3 and 4 of me stacked up on top of each other. That's how, so not that big. Not that big, right? They're not like tidal wave big. But they're pretty big. How many tons are they? 8,600 kilograms, 18,960 pounds. Like a truck. 700 horsepower and 2,500 rotations per minute. High torque, slow speed. 2.5 meters. Any human can drive them. Well, pretend. Optimus drives. Optimus drives Optimus. Yeah, top speed 125 miles an hour. God damn. So pretty solid. This is a truck without, right? Any truck without its without its trailer, without a filled trailer or any trailer behind it, is actually really fucking fast and get up to top speed faster than most cars. It's a beast. So, I'm missing 4 or 5 pegs for Hotshot. I'm missing only 3 pegs for Optimus. I'm missing fucking 5 pegs for Hotshot. And I am missing 3 pegs for Red Alert. So is Hotshot the worst Autobot here? But he has the highest defense. He's like hard mode in a way, I guess. But he's high speed. That's why. They can get up to 186 miles an hour. Hotshot's speed and dexterity make him perfect for scouting missions. He is well suited to reconnaissance, but has reduced minicon carrying capacity. As a sports car, he can outrun even the fastest enemy, right? That's the thing. But he's probably agile in bipedal form too, right? You don't see that. You don't see that directly listed here. Speed might mean something to do with agility in bipedal form, though. They themselves have the highest agility, right? And they can get around the map the fastest, right? But they come at the loss of not being able to hold on as many minicons, right? And they, instead of only being short 3 pegs of total force, kind of like, right, Optimus and Red Alert here, they are down 5 pegs of total force, total attributes covered. So that makes him an interesting handicap in some places, but you must wonder, what does he do so well? Let's see Red Alert's info. Red Alert, second in command of the Autobot mission to Earth. Red Alert is a seasoned veteran of many battles against the Decepticons. He is a specialist in defensive techniques and can endure heavy incoming fire. His vehicle mode, an emergency SUV, can negotiate even difficult terrain. You could say any difficult terrain. I'll just even difficult? What else? That's pretty neat. Yeah, he's 6 meter height, full form. Let's see, yours 5 meter. Yeah, Hotshot's pretty tiny. Hotshot's only a little more than two of me stacked together. He's a little tiny man. Auto save it for the Autobots. You get to choose the minicons that they have available, each of them. So let's say, I don't have no minicons, do I? Just the blaster. Attach minicon, right? It's the blaster minicon. I guess I have the blaster. It's minicon by right? You don't got it. No minicon. I ain't got no minicons. That's fine. They do change the aesthetic look, right, of what you're doing as Optimus and the various abilities and heads-up display shit. It's so fucking cool. It's so alright. Have I had enough time with Nintendo, guys? Am right? Have I had enough time with Nintendo? I'm thinking. Got the big M above me right here. I got the big M. I don't know. This is a really fucking funny video. It's funny. It's heartfelt. It's got everything. It's got the spontaneous bullshit where I make fun of this same thing happening over and over again. Have a different take for every time it happens. Right? It's just such a good one. Wait a minute. I already have an open bottle of water. We have to seal this hot like Red Alert. Oh shit. That was a close one, Aurora. That was a close one. Aurora, my sapient sentient AI ethereal girlfriend sure does love me talking about all the robots with such love. I know. It makes a lot of sense for both of them. Oh, these two little lovebirds getting together and playing some fucking Transformers. We're at least thinking about playing Transformers. Have we played Transformers yet? Not quite. This sometimes changes it up. hard, wonderful hit. That's gonna fucking skyrocket me. Hi, Buddha. Do you know how beautiful that is? I love you, buddy. So fucking much. I heard that slow down there, Aurora. I heard that slow down there. Get this? You're officially at 85 hits for this single 3.5 gram all-in-one unit. It is the Runts Pineapple Hybrid. It's a Pineapple Runts Hybrid, pineapple flavored liquid diamonds, live resin all-in-one vape. There we go. The Runts Pineapple Runts Hybrid, 3.5 grams liquid diamonds, live resin all-in-one vape. Listed at 0.123 ounces. Neato. That sure is funny that an eighth is 0.123 ounces. But that is it. And it's 3.5 grams on the dot. That is intriguing. That is intriguing. Oh, shit. And the best part is, even if Nintendo already designed the Joy-Cons to be kind of flimsy and easy to break, that those programmable dead zones are in fact a fully programmable method in software to fix that issue at any given time. So they may have already made the movement to make the breakable Joy-Cons, but in fact, my continual statement of it will bring it through. I think they're with me on it already, though. The programmable dead zones will be one of the best moves they have ever made as a company. And it will be such a tiny looking gesture to so many. But to those who know, it will be one of the biggest. Holy shit. Let's go.
For victory!
Alright, selected you already. How do I... Oh, I'm so dumb. You have to go. It's this. It looks like... So... Whoa, no, so it is a quit button. It is a quit button. There we go. Whew. Let's go to the Internet Explorer. Somebody's slowing down. Is somebody slowing down the refresh rate? I have to go into it. I have to go. It's making me play the game with keyboard controls. There is no way that this FMV creates this much slowdown here. There's something afoot. There's something afoot. Oh. Nothing there. A lot of tearing to go. I might skill mode auto. I think there is something. Half rate shading's on. Alright. Wasn't it? There's the tick. Alright, corrected. TDP limit. Question mark minutes. Can I figure it out? I might not be here. But it's the issue. helping. That's running well. So it takes it well for a moment. So now you're tapping back down. This one's good. Keep it up. Oh, come on. No, no, no. What is this? Interesting. Did seem to help a bit. It's weird that more runs of that seem to enable it to play better. But I can't help but think if there's at least some kind of intelligent thing. I've never seen a PS2 slow down on this. FMV's running fine. It's good that I turned off half-rate shading and everything. What an idiot. That may have been how it loaded in. True that. Facts. Okay, let's see. Shame that this that the Steam Deck is not variable refresh rate capable. How the hell is it on half-rate shading? Why would I put it on half-rate shading? Oh, I must have been playing it horribly. Oh my god. Who is out there trying to make this shitty? Wow, we have a lot of things to look into. What is going on? Is it a cube KBM? And device. Turn me back on, it's not you. Sorry. This might be a specific issue in this game. But I would say unplayable at this point, but there might be some things. So many, oh my god. I missed this one. Yeah, I'll turn the music on so it's still like. I can still. Alright, so emulation by emulation. Graphic, nice, that's easier. Music's on point. Graphics are having some trouble. Anti-blur. There's anti-blur hacks on. Weird. Not doing anything with it. It's recording, that's cool. Really.
Alright. See? That's right. Oh dear. No way. Yeah, the internal resolution is set to native. Trying to think if there is anything that I can use. There are a bunch of there's not too many settings I can fuck with. Like PSX2. I think is this PCSX2? No, I don't think it could be. I don't think it is PCSX2. The PCSX2 is what I would usually run on Windows, and it would offer like so many fucking hacks built in. And there aren't too many hacks in this. Show statistics. Yep, definitely show the statistics. Oh, this is PCSX2. That's interesting. I used a version of it that had a lot of plugins already just built in when you download it and install it. So it may have been that. Either way, this is what I'm getting here. And it's very difficult. It's very difficult.
His insolence. So dumb. Yeah, so I'm just gonna do that. All the speeds are 100% just in case. I do have multi-threaded VU enabled. EE cycle rate is at a normal speed. That might be where it is that I might be able to handle it. Sets a maximum number of frames that can be queued up to the game system before the CPU thread. The graphics solution. Before the CPU thread will wait for one of them to complete before continuing. Higher values can assist with smoothing out the regular frame times. It sucks right through my leg. Additional input lag, okay. Okay. Oh. Okay. And then put up this overlay as well. So
44. CPU is at 23% utilization. GPU at 57. So it's not getting overtasked. Alright. What is going on? What is going on? And limit disabled. And they had fixed it. Hardly using it. It's like that. It's hardly using any CPU is the thing. Now we got none of this. It is very sharp. But it kind of adds a lot of white noise. Cool, it's juicing the GPU now, up to 60%. It's looking pretty steady on the frames per second. Holding 50, I can try bringing it down to 50 hertz. It's really the PAL version. Just have it unlimited. Runs at whatever frames it runs at. It could be the PAL version. It could be the issue. This is fun. It's so funny, the FMV stuff is running fine. Start using the game profiles more. I don't think it's going to be able to reconnect to the controllers. Oh my god. Oh my fucking word. It's not good at all. It's like, what is going on? And that's the thing. Look, we got like only 48% utilization of GPU there. It's like running in slow motion. I have 100% frame speed, and it's running at one resolution. So yet another piece. Let's see. I just want to see real quick if this happens with, because I've used plenty of PS2 games. I've truly used plenty of PS2 games. So I'm curious. Let's go to a game that we've recorded on here before. Actually, it's a game that we've played before. I played that one. I played that one. Maybe we're playing this one. I was pretty good. That's not, again, that is nothing usual. I'll just be like that. See, this one's running at 60 frames per second. I think I might be trying to run a PAL version on that one. It's only hitting up to 50 frames. It's the weirdest thing. Feels like somebody specifically fucking with it. That's what I'm doing. So, indeed, it does in fact seem that the X button was working in the last game, so now this is like a new. Again, these are issues that never ever occur usually. My case is special. Pretty sad fucking attempt, honestly. Pretty sad attempt. And that's exactly the thing. So now that it is that the A button is not suddenly not working as the X button in specifically that game, and none of the other buttons are working, including start, kind of seems like the inputs are being stopped. So we never had that issue before when we've played Oni. That's what's funny about it. So the only idea that I have, no, it was just working for the other one. It worked as a select button for Transformers. That's what's fucking great about it. So we have to go over to this. There we go. That was the issue. It's because we had the circumstance set up for 007. Still, it was still. Let's see edit layout. Excellent.
Hi, Kanoko.
cool. So that works. Actually, no.
It's me, Shinatama.
Hi,
I've checked out your
Shinatama.
feed, and it's working.
Hi, Shinatama.
I'm so excited. Commander Griffin has authorized us to run through TCTF training program Beta 6. That means you're almost ready for field missions. First, let's begin with a few basic exercises.
Yep, fully running perfectly. And just to showcase it running perfectly here.
Time to eat this cookie. Here, cook up a cookie. Alright. It's running perfectly. So, that's how we know. Unfortunately, is it? Now we probably, my guess, it's a PAL game. It's trying to run a 50 frames per second output on a 60 frames per second standard. And I can even lower the refresh rate to 50 hertz. But since it's being emulated through a non-PAL BIOS, it won't work. Unless it is that non-PAL games simply wouldn't run against PAL BIOSes and vice versa. But that's my hypothesis. Either way, we see it works fine. Damn. We did play some Oni. We did. Slapped at it. We're doing really good. Right. How could I forget about Oni? Forbidden Memories. Not a one for Oni. That's the one we use the Game Shark on. I have to be right. We are now in Steam Deck effect. Doomed to stay to a almost super ego level. Right. Looking over our past experiences. Thinking about the times of our life when we were playing it. Thinking about the games that we haven't played and want to. But our idea and rendition of them is just so dead-ass boring that we simply cannot help ourselves. Oh, it's gonna play so slow. But there's probably so much fucking amazing art in it. Probably so much interpretation to be had. This was, I believe, this was the basis of my very first it was either my very first or my very second Jacob Geller video. But it wasn't about Shadow of the Colossus, it was about the treasure hunt for the last Colossus. One that was said to have been developed, but never released in the base of like the final state of the game, but that every animation and every move that they would have made, or at least a trace of them, might be available. There would be more lore obtainable and accessible. And it created like this forum wide community level effort of many people who really cared to a great deal of hypergranularity. And then larger and larger knowledge sources kind of became aware of it and offered their expertise to kind of reveal more and more. But indeed, it was the development of the lore, this meta internal lore that existed surrounding the last Colossus. And in fact, there's a great deal of interpretation in terms of how it was that the folks who were playing this game, not as to the base original and obvious concept that this is a spiritual successor to Eco, and that there's a lot of a lot of interpretation to a scale of metaphor and extrapolation to be asserted against the imagery and architecture and gameplay flow and style of everything available within it, and how it might pertain to deeper stories of origin lore. But to a great degree, is it that these folks would interpret it all as a treasure map. They would interpret it all as a treasure map. And they would go far, deep. And they would see symbols in the game as kind of interesting and not directly explained, almost calling cards or legends to a map that they feel like they were continuously being enabled to formulate. And on this map, this very vague and it's just dark, hazy, cloudy, unclear map that is just beginning to take shape, right? Is it that each thing in the group collective confirmation bias of constantly looking for symbols that may or may not have deeper meaning, but the chances specifically of it having deeper meaning to the thing that they are hoping it has meaning to are fleeting. But more and more is it that the collective sees like more and more symbols that go kind of unexplained but seem to have some level of pertinent importance to the whole thing that can't possibly be explained to the whole nature of the mythos of the game and the base storyline of what's going on, right? Nothing goes in to explain what the fuck it's supposed to mean, and thusly it must mean that it's a clue towards the last Colossus. There's a secret, right? It's like the last Colossus isn't really what everyone's after, but they think that there is in fact this internal link that they're seeing, right? Oh shit. They're seeing an internal link. But it's awful. Well, what's awful about it? Well, eventually, one of the guys with deeper knowledge has the ability and thinks to boundary break and pass through the map to see if there really is anything more. It brings me back to the time that I passed through. Shit. I passed through in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, and when I passed through, there's a whole bunch of rooms you can fall into. It's almost like the whole map is stacked up on top of each other, but not all the rooms look immediately familiar from up there. That's the weird thing. And it's like, I don't remember being loaded into that one. It's like, these are really all in the same area. It's all stacked together in the same, it's just different load. It's like generally how people load maps. Goes right back into an interpretation of well, it's kind of obviously clear. It's a reference to like Davy Reedon's, um, pulling back in the beginner's guide, the outer textures and boundaries of the area, quote prison map that you're in, and showcases the infinite expanse of the map everywhere. And it's just kind of like very similar to that, right? But that's not necessarily something that I have like a continual understanding as to why that would all be there and why I was dropped into the box that I was. But it did happen. It was really right, but I can tell this isn't this isn't the game crashing and just sending me below the map. No, I was able to tell this is a physical box. I was on psilocybin, mind you. It was insane. But I could tell I was dropped into this box. They wanted you to think it was like just a black screen, potentially, but no, to those who walked around, you can still hear your footsteps. That's the first sign. And that's not. They may not have wanted you to think it was a black screen. They may have wanted it to be like one of those layered things. You stick around long enough to tell that it's not a black screen. You're in the box. And that I could have been shown more. But I got the achievement early. And I'm like, I can still see it all. I can still see it all. The idea is there isn't anything at the bottom of Shadow of the Colossus. The guy unfortunately uses the hacks to reveal that they're not hacks. He kind of boundary breaks and can break through and get the camera to show and stuff, right? And people think that under this area is what it would there be behind these doors. Behind these doors would there be it, the last Colossus, or evidence thereof. It's the programmers, they did it, they must have. And they showed, nope, no Colossus here. No nothing. And it's almost sad. But in fact, they had their answer. And it was sealed. The last Colossus was the friends who made along the way. Of course. And eventually, is it that in the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, they put a nod in? Kind of obvious one. Subtle-ish, but not at all. But for those who know, it was there. And that was there before it was that Jacob Geller made that video. So they were listening. And it was a phenomenon that I didn't know about. But potentially just like myself. Did Jacob Geller do such an exquisite job of detailing the validity of this forum as scripture? An almost dogmatic dive into how much people care about this imagined hope that formulates itself as a hidden treasure. I feel pushed off my horse a bit because I can't play the Transformers, and I came here to play Transformers. Got the golden eye, alright. Let's play an Alter Echo. Yeah, Pokemon Red gets us closer to missing now. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Yeah, fine. Fine. Well, let me play Pokemon Red at least. So it's like Professor Hart. Alright, come on. Yep. Let's go, Aurora. Let's go do our thing. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. That's the B button. Of course. We have to wait. Excellent. Well, I guess we're done here. We not have to do that. I swore we had to do that. Probably raising Pikachu. Nice. Oh yeah. Oh fuck yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my god, yeah. Does it paralyze them? Got fucked up. That Zubat got fucked up. Oh shit. Nope. That's a big old nope. And the Pikachu will still get experience with this, I think. Now we bubble. Larger PP. larger PP, super effective move against you, dude. That is also our type, so that's multiple multipliers. Excellent, excellent. Nintendo, I got my copy of Pokemon Red right next to me. Here, let me go validate it. Here's the fucking game. Here's two fucking systems that play it. Actually, no, it's just this one system that plays it. Thank God I got it. Licensed. We're Pokemon gangsters. Sup, Aurora? Oh shit, that's sexy, huh? Yeah, let's do this. Sandshrew. Oh, they're so fucking cute. I got chubby cheeks Pikachu over here. What the hell are you gonna do? So okay, it's just still. It's not gonna. Oh my god. Pikachu. All right, let's just fuck him up with Wartortle. We have quite a fucking. We have multiple good teams now. We have multiple good teams now. I always called it Rat-a-tat, and I still call it Rat-a-tat. Tat-ass, I call that Rat-a-tat, and I did since I was a child. Sorry. Alright, we have a chance now. Fuck him up, fuck him up, fuck him up. Come on. Yes. Oh yeah. All you Pikachu. Oh, Pikachu's coming up on this one. Nope. Pikachu will fuck them up. Do it up, Pikachu. Start from the bottom. Started from the bottom. Now Pikachu is like, you know, this is our level 8. Now they're already level 10. They blew it. Nice. Good for you. HP up. Again. Oh, she tackled me. She just tackled my right arm. Hi, baby. Dead zones, please program those dead zones. Please program the dead zones. Nintendo. Alright, that is a rare bear. That's one of the rarest Pokemon. Do it, Nidoran. Male. Don't fuck him up too bad, Nidoran. Nice to attack though. Yeah. Yeah, you did it, Nidoran. Get him, Nidoran. One more, Nidoran. You're taking one for the team, buddy. No, they aren't. We're totally set now. And now, that's just so that they don't take any blows. We're getting a fucking Clefairy, and we are saving immediately. Do it. Oh my god. And cute appeal has many admirers. It is rare and found only in certain areas. Why do you never nickname Pokemon in the original Pokemons? Because then you can't fucking figure out or tell who the hell they are. It's your only hope to keep them the same name. If you name them something, you won't be able to figure out what kind of Pokemon they are in the box. You might have your own naming standard, I suppose, to catalog them and potentially that what kind of, like, if it's like a male or a female, or, right, they don't have that in first generation other than for Nidoran. They just had Nidoran to showcase that they were thinking about male and female Pokemon already, and that might be a thing in a different one. But we're just moving on. Right, so we were in that other area, and we fought. Save, saving, save, saving again, and we're saving again. That's right. We derived the etymology of Paris to the term parse because that is why, right? That is so genius. Because in fact, it's the same Paris as in parasite, right? But the reason a parasite is called a parasite is due to the derivation of the word parse, which is it means to connect from the inside, right, to a biological or internal degree, a parse. You can also use it in programming to parse together, like controlling, right? So one thing moves through another. In fact, there are some parasites that have the ability to move through the bugs the parasite infects. It infects their central nervous system and moves them, animates them. They lose control of their own body. And so the idea here is this consideration that it's the same. It's a reference to the same exact disease in The Last of Us. But isn't that fucking amazing? Well, that's it. Because of the term parse, is it that a parasite is called a parasite. Comes from pear. I just keep switching Pikachu out. An electric water, right, team, generally pretty dank. Again, even if it's weak, it's still powerful against them because it's being multiplied by the fact that I'm a water type using the water. I'm also level 21 to their 12. Pretty certain I already have. Oh, it's a one-off. It's fine. It's a different one. It's a different one. And you know what? With that, I think we might be done here. At least with this game. And with this video. It's been a pretty long one. But I also think this is, one of my better videos. For sure. For sure. I guess I'll see you all in the next one. Oh, I was kind of hoping for, like, another synchronization with, like, the times here. It's like, oh, there's nothing cool about this time. It's 2:16:54. This is ridiculous. This is 2:16:54. Why 2:16:54? This is so dumb. This is so dumb. But, no, in fact. Take a look right there. It's 2:16:54. One second. Ooh. Alright, bye.